let's start by sitting on some support in cross legs. So have your support, see that you're high enough to support the lower back, to keep that lower back lifting and not dropping down. So be comfortable in this pose as much as you can. If you can't sit cross legs, you can take yourself to sit on a chair or just take your legs out in front of you and see if you can lift up tall through the spine. Okay, so in that cross leg position, buttock flesh out to the side, so you really feel that you spread the buttocks and you come onto the very front edge of your buttock bones. So try not to fall back in the pose, lift up through the spine, lift up the side body, crown the head to the ceiling. So imagine someone's got a piece of string drawing you up towards the ceiling. Join the palms and slowly close your eyes. So once the eyes are closed, just take a slightly deeper inhalation, exhalation, and just quietly scan the body, feel how even you can be placed on those blocks, cushions, with the buttocks. Relax your abdomen, so no grip around the lower belly, abdominal area, so soften there. Lift your chest, widen your chest, so you need to get this broadness across the front chest and the upper back. And then just see if you can maintain that lift as you inhale and exhale. Just observing how you feel today before we start the practice. So when we sit in cross legs, it's just a small amount of time just to gather how you're feeling, just preparing before we start. So the next few seconds, just see if you can let any unwanted thoughts come and go. As and when you feel you need to take a slightly deeper inhalation, exhalation, then do so. Relax those shoulders down, maintain that lift, sides of the neck tall. Soften your face, soften your tongue, and soften your throat. From that lower back, maintaining that softness through the pose. So inhale, bow your head down. Release your hands to your legs. Raising your head back up to center. Slowly open your eyes. And just release your legs and relax for a moment. Okay, so we're going to be using a belt today. So I've got a yoga belt here, but also if you haven't got a yoga belt, you may have a resistance band or a dressing gown belt. So anything long belt that you can use, we're going to be using. So before we start as well, do remember to come out of the pose. Don't feel you've got to stay there as long as I'm keeping you there. Come out and rest when you need to. Join back in if you need to, or wait till we do the next movement and you can join into that. So we're going to start first by lying down. So you need to take yourself onto your mat. Have your belt that you're going to use near. And also take a block to support your head or a folded towel if you know that when you lay down, you find it very difficult to keep the chin slightly down, and we need the back of this neck long. Okay, so if you're doing this action when you're laying down, then the shoulders are coming forward and it's not a nice action on the neck, so we just need a bit of support underneath the head. So if you are using support just before we start, have your support in place. When you come down for the support, lift the bottom, roll the shoulders back and down, and just see that you've got the neck supported as well as the back of the head. So you don't just want the block to be hanging here and your neck is sort of just hanging freely like this. So bring that block right down to the tops of those shoulders so you can feel that you've got that neck support as well. Okay, so use one of those if you need, or as I say, a folded towel. So we're going to start first by just being in this straight along your mat, feeling, feel the alignment, feel that you're not on the diagonal, you are in a straight line as much as you can be. And just see how my shoulders are rolling upwards now. I want you to see if you can take your shoulder blades down towards the floor to open this chest. Another action I want you to think about is just maybe lifting up your bottom off the floor and just hold the sides of the mat, grip the sides of your mat and just push your mat away, and you can feel the shoulders moving towards the hands then. You get that shoulder blade length on the back body moving down towards the waist. And then as you lower your lower back to the floor, see that you're not exaggerating the arch here. So by pushing that mat away, you can lift the buttocks, lengthen your tailbone. So on the back body, from the top of your trousers at the back, you want to feel that skin, buttocks, flesh is lengthening towards the buttock, towards the heels. Okay, so you're not drawing it this way, it's going down towards the feet. So just feel that you've got that spine and that nice straight line along the floor. You've got room to take your arms over your head, and then we're just going to be here, placing the palms down onto the floor. Keep your knees bent, feet flat. Just take your feet a bit wider and let your knees drop in towards each other. So before we start, we're just going to drop this belly. We're going to relax the abdomen. It has to be soft. Don't grip there. We're so used to probably gripping on that abdominal area. We need to learn to just release and soften it, which in turn will help you to release the diaphragm and the lower back. You'll get that spreading action. So just see if you can feel that. Shoulder blades down, back of the head long. Now just turn the palms to face the ceiling. So now you can feel the chest maybe a little bit wider and the shoulders can press down more. Now keep that action of the outer shoulder blades pressing down as you turn the palms back towards the floor. So really try hard not to just be here like this. Trying to press those shoulder blades down. So feeling that your shoulder blades on the back body is slightly moving into your body more. You're not just completely slumped down even though you've got the floor behind you. There's that connected action there. Okay. And then just release that briefly. So we're going to start by now taking the feet together, and we're going to take those arms down. We're going to feel as if we're going to walk the fingers towards the feet again, so we make the space at the sides of the neck. And then you're going to inhale, exhale, raise your left arm and just take it up and back. So, you may not get too far. You may have, due to stiffness, it may not want to go down to the floor. So just go as far as you can go with that arm. Just take it back and down. Bring that arm back down. Take the right arm up. Inhale, exhale. Take the arm back and down. And bring the arm down. So first stretch always feels a little bit tight to start with. Now I want you to take your arms out to the side, and I want you to rotate the arms to the ceiling. So the palms are facing the ceiling now. So again, it's not laying here like this. You want to get those shoulders tucked down and under, and stretch from each side, to the left, to the right. Take your spine down towards the floor, and then take the arms, if you've got the room, slide your arms up to have your arms as far as you can, keeping those arms down on the floor. And just feel whether you get a slightly better action with those upper arms to the floor than when you just took the arms up and over. So sliding those arms back out to the side, and bring your arms in. Okay, so now we're going to just take the right foot over the chest. You're going to bring the bend the knee over the chest, and you're going to hold on to the shin bone. So just holding that shin bone. If that's a problem, you can take the back of the thigh and draw the back of the thigh down. So holding that shin bone, just draw down. Again, try not to be tense in those shoulders. Relax those shoulders away from those ears, and just feel that action, you're bringing it down towards your chest. Relax the face, relax the jaw, and then release that leg. Bring the left leg up, hold on to that shin bone, and just draw it down. So still see if you can keep that broadness across that upper chest. Collarbones are wide. Breathe into your upper chest. Soften the foot, don't have the foot tight, that will cause tension in the shoulders, and just see if you can bring it down. And release. Okay, this time we're going to take that leg, right leg back up. We're going to draw down one more time. And then you're going to see if we can straighten this left leg along the floor. Okay, so a bit more challenging now, because what wants to happen is this leg, as we pull this leg down, this leg wants to come towards us as well. We have to move this leg away. So the left thigh has to move towards the left toes as you draw the right shin bone down. So we have to work at pressing this leg down towards the floor without it coming full, up towards you like this. So just try that. You may be not having such a good pull down, that's fine. Just go as far as you can. Don't let this foot roll out, and keep that left heel bone firmly on the floor. Bend this left leg, release the right leg, and bring the left leg over the chest. So first of all, just hold on to that shin or the back of the thigh, and then just scrape that heel along the floor to straighten that right leg. Have it in that straight line. Again, just see how much can you have the toes facing the ceiling of that right leg, the shoulder blades down, and draw that bent leg down. And just feel how this leg wants to come and join the opposite leg. Move it away. Lengthen the front thigh away towards the right foot. Press it down. Open the back of the leg. So you want to feel space at the back of the thigh. Bend that right leg and release that left foot. Okay. Just take your feet wide again. Lift your bottom, lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. So the action again in between, we just lengthen the tailbone, the lower back, the lumbar area. So we're not compressing there. We want to keep it nice and long. And then you're going to take your hands to the floor by the side of you. You're going to take those shoulder blades down. You're going to be soft here. Be soft in your belly, your abdomen. And then we're going to raise the arms, spread the fingers, and just take the arms good distance, nice and wide, like a star. Now, take the spine gently down towards the floor, release your abdomen, and don't allow the chin to follow the hands, because what wants to happen is as we take the arms back, we do this. If you can see my head, it starts to go back with the arms. So keep the back of the neck long, and see if you can just extend until you can't see your hands. So your hands have not gone to the floor yet. You're still stretching back. Now, before we take those arms back and down anymore, for this next part of the movement, I want you to just drop your spine down slightly. Stretch your arms away, so you're really making the arms longer, as if someone's pulling your wrists away. Imagine someone's there pulling your wrists, and then continue taking that action of the arms down towards the floor. So just feel now, have you got more space around the ears, around the shoulders? Is there a little bit more easier to take those arms a bit down? So again, you may be here, that is fine. Just keep on having to stretch those arms away. See if you can get that length from the armpit to the hands. And inhale, exhale, bring your arms back down. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, we're going to take the belt now to the right foot. So when you place the belt to the right foot, we're going to straighten this left leg away, and we're going to take this leg up. Now, we're trying to get the leg straight, but I don't want you to over push that leg if there's stiffness there. So just go to that comfortable angle that you're comfortable, that you can hold the belt, each hand, and you can have that leg straight. So rather than be here like this and trying to pull it up and straighten it, I want you to be where you need to be to keep that leg straight. So this is fine. Obviously bend and rest and come back up if it's too much. Okay, so we're going to start with this right leg, taking the belt to that right foot, stretching that leg up. So for those that can, are going to bring that leg up a little bit further. So if there's not a hamstring or stiffness in those legs, you can work at getting that leg straight. Spread your toes, spread the toes of the left foot. And again, you can feel how when this leg extends up, this leg wants to come towards here. It wants to start coming up to join it. So it's almost like not making the legs be twins. Remember, they're not twins, they're sisters. So make it, use it, you know, have it on its own, make it move away. Don't allow it to be a twin that wants to copy the is identical to the other leg. It has to move, it has to work and get this action of moving away. Stretch up into that top leg. Take a few breaths here. Can you release those shoulders down? And bend your left leg, release your right leg. And before we go to the left side, we're just going to settle down with the abdomen, release those shoulders down, and take those arms up nice and wide, and take them back and down. Inhale, exhale. Take a nice deep breath, bring it into that upper chest, and bring those arms down. Other side, taking the belt to the left foot, centre of the left foot, stretch your right leg away, and take that left foot up. Okay, so be where you need to comfortably be with this leg, trying to open the back of the leg. How straight can we get this leg? Don't over pull the belt with the hands and shoulders. So if you're here, like I said, that is fine. Softer hands. And then, if you can, bring it a little bit closer, more perpendicular, 90 degrees eventually, then be here with that. Again, this bottom leg, we're still trying to maintain that work of moving the thigh, so extending that thigh towards the right foot. And breathe. Bend that right leg, release the left, and this time we're going to take whatever you've got belt-wise, we're going to hold it nice and wide above our head, so just looking up. Draw the shoulder blades down. Don't overhold, don't hold too tight. Don't push up into your back, so take your back towards the floor and then extend, go on extending. So if you need to be wider with that belt, go wider. I want you to have space around the neck. It should feel quite nice as you extend and lengthen. So again, if you can't completely get that rotation of the shoulder joints to take the arms down, just be where you can stretch the arms away. Okay, for those that can, are going to take those arms down towards the floor and lengthen along the floor. Once you're in this stretch, I want you to feel the sides of the body now coming into play. So it's not just the arms are extending, it's also from the hip bone to the armpit. I want you to make that area long, from the armpit to the hands, to the fingers, long, extend, lengthen. And bring your arms down. Okay. So, we're going to do that. We're going to continue with the belt work with the legs in a moment, but I just wanted to explain to you that we're trying to work 3 directions here with this pose. So if you can sort of get where I am, we're laying down, we're lengthening the body long ways. So from head to toe, we're long, we're lengthening. Then we've got the upward extension with the leg that's going up. So we're extending that leg up. So we've got an upward extension direction. We've got a lengthening direction. We've also got a widening action where I want you to spread the back, spread the front chest, spread the pelvic area, spread the lower back area. So you want to feel that width and broadness across that body as you extend upwards and as you lengthen along the floor. So the next time we do the next part of this pose, just think of those 3 directions, actions that you're trying to make. Okay, so coming back down again, I'm going to take the belt onto the right foot now. we're going to stretch that right leg away. So if you're finding this one a challenge, then we're going to stay holding the belt like this. This leg, remembering, has got to lengthen away. So we don't want to be bringing it up towards, you know, as we take this leg up, we don't want to bring this leg towards us. From this hip bone, this front thigh has to move in the direction towards its foot as you extend into that top leg. Now, we're going to let go of the belt if we can. If not, you stay with the belt. And you're going to grip the sides of your mat and you're going to push your mat away so you can see the shoulders are not here, they're moving away. I'm stretching that bottom leg along the floor as I'm trying to extend that top leg up. I'm pressing my shoulder blades down gently, my upper arms are down, so I've got the width across that front body, back body. Take a few breaths here if you can, and then take hold of that belt. Bend that left leg and release the right belt. Okay. So just between that, I'm just going to take those arms up, nice and wide again, and just stretch the arms back. Just stretch the arms back. Okay, and just take a nice few deeper breaths. Inhale, exhale. Soft, slow inhalations, exhalations, and bring your arms down. Now we're going to take the belt onto the left foot, raise that left leg up and stretch that right leg along the floor. So one side may feel much different to the opposite side, so just again observe that. Try to keep this side of the body long, so don't let this thigh draw up to the armpit. From the armpit to the outer hip, you draw long. You get that long action. Okay, pull the leg. Gently pull on that belt as you extend that leg into that top belt. Back of the head is long. You're pressing this right leg down into the floor and you're widening your body. Now we're going to release, hold on to the sides of the mat, push the mat away and see if we can just take a few breaths here. Can you relax the abdomen when you're doing this action? You might start to feel your leg is starting to shake because the muscles are starting to work now, because you have to keep that connection in that lower leg, in the hips, to work that top leg now. Good. Open your chest. And then bring your hands back to the belt. Bend your right leg and release your left leg. Good. So, we've got one more action to do with this now. Just raise the arms up. Take them over the head. Just have a nice stretch from the sides of the body through to the fingers. Inhale, exhale. Soften your face. Don't overstretch and strain. Just see if you can just make that sides of the trunk lengthen, become longer. Feel as if you can get that space and the width of the chest, of the diaphragm, all across here, the front ribs widening. And just have your spine along the floor. Bring your arms down. Take the belt now again to the right foot. We're going to stretch this leg along the floor, raise this top leg up. So these movements we're doing help with working the legs, to get the legs stronger, to get that strength that we need through the legs for the standing poses, as we eventually move on to do standing poses. So this will help to strengthen the legs, the leg muscles, the back of the hamstring. So you need to really work and get this action and get some strength here, and some sort of stability in the hips, in the legs, which will help you in your standing poses. So just extending up now. Now what we're going to try and do is we're going to lift our head and chest. I'll show you first. We're going to lift the head and chest if we can, and just walk the hands up the belt and pull down. So you're bringing your chest up towards your legs. So you can see as I've brought myself up, I've lifted this leg. I've still got to try and get that action of extending that leg away. So you can lift the head off the floor and extend it away as you come up. Just walking up a little bit higher to that belt and roll yourself to come back down. Okay, so we'll do that one together. I'm going to stay on the right side. So Again, if it's too much, you just stay with the work. If you're still struggling with the hamstrings, be patient, just give yourself time to get this action to open the back of the leg. As I said before, if you're here, just do a bit and rest, bend it, and then come back up. You can even keep this leg bent, which makes it a little bit easier just to get some work on those hamstrings until they want to relax a bit and make you get that straighter leg. Okay, so right leg, stretch up. Now, inhale, exhale, press your left leg down first. Extend your front thigh towards that foot. Keep this heel bone of the right leg lifting. Lift your head, lift your chest, and just see if you can walk up your belt just a little bit. Just a little bit. Lift your chest. Can you get your shoulders and chest off the floor? And slowly come back down. Bend the left leg, release the right. Take the arms, inhale, exhale, stretch them back, open the chest. If you can, bring your arms a little bit closer towards your head now, so not so wide, bring them in slightly now, and just stretch and open. Feel the sides of the body lengthening now, so get some length there, get some width across that front body, and feel that nice, when you've got the space, the width, you can lift and breathe into that upper chest. Bring your arms down, take the belt to the left foot, stretch your right leg away, press that right leg down, lift up your left leg. And then we're going to inhale, exhale. Before we lift up, we're going to just take the awareness, take the brain to this right leg that has to move down and extend the back of the leg away. As you inhale, exhale, lift your head, lift your chest, and walk up that belt slightly. Pull on the belt, look up, lift your chin, lift your chest, breathe, press that straight leg into the floor and away, and then slowly come back down. So, you may just get here, you may just get your head off and not feel that you can walk up, but just see if you can lift the head and chest and maybe take the elbows out to the side. That's another way to make it a little bit simpler before we move on like that. Okay, so bending that right leg, release that left, and then you're going to give yourself space, take the arms out to the sides, roll your shoulders back and down, lift your bottom, tailbone towards the heels, and just drop your legs over to the right. Relax the arms, relax the abdomen, and then come back to center, and then go over to the left. So again, if you're here, that's fine. Don't try to push the legs down. Just see how far you can take those legs. Eventually, we're trying to take the legs to the floor and keep the thighs together if you can. And then just roll completely back to the right side. How much can you keep those inner thighs together? And come back to the left. For that rotation through the spine, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your abdomen, and come back to center. Okay, just bring your right leg over your chest now, just draw it down one more time. Just give your foot a circle, just rotating that foot, drawing a little circle with your toe, big toe, making a circle, opposite direction. Again, relaxing those shoulders down, and then release that leg, other side, draw that leg down and rotate that ankle by drawing that circle with your big toe, and then go the opposite direction. So try not to go fast like that, try and get that control, feel that action and movement. So just trying to keep a bit of movement in those ankles there. Get very stiff as well, don't they? And then release, feet flat. And then you're going to roll onto your right side to come up. Okay. So we're going to just do a dog pose now. So I want you to come into dog pose, you're going to take your hands wide, so spreading your fingers. So I'm going to show you just my arm work from the front, and then I'm going to show you from the side. So when we take the hands are going to be shoulder width apart, and I want you to get this action that you're rolling your inner upper arms out, so inner to outer. So you don't want to be like this where you're pressing the hands and you're like this and the shoulders are all like down by the ears. When you rotate the inner upper arms, you can get that action of the shoulders moving away, the upper arms are rotating out. Okay, so if any wrist problems, you can turn the palms slightly out like this, or fold a mat and take your heel of your hand onto the folded part of the mat and press your fingers off. So you've got a little bit more height there. Okay, so from here we're going to go into dog pose. So take your hands in position, spread your fingers, walk back with your knees. Okay, and then inhale, tuck your toes under, and let's come up and keep those knees bent to start with. So knees bent, and let your head come down. So crown the head down. So just don't drop the shoulders, keep the shoulders drawing up, lifting up away from the floor, and then take a few breaths here. So the knees are bent. I want you now, again, to rotate the inner upper arms by the ears. So by the ears, those upper arms by the ears rotate outwards, and move your chest towards your legs more if you can. So you can move your feet back. I feel like I need to move my feet back a little bit more, give myself a bit more space between those hands and feet. Okay, now open your chest towards your legs. Press your hands and open your legs toward your chest towards your legs. Keep the knees softly bent still. Lift the back of the thighs. So I've still got those knees bent. I'm just drawing that chest towards those legs. Lift the buttocks now. Still keeping that soft bend in my legs. And then we're going to come down. And you're going to point your toes back. And if you can, you're going to sit back onto your heels. Roll your shoulders back. Okay, roll your shoulders back a few times. And then come back forwards. Good. Give yourself a little neck roll. So whatever you need, whatever you feel your shoulders need to do for the moment. Okay, one more time, we're going to go into dog pose. This time we're going to see if we can straighten the legs and extend into your heels. So, taking your hands forwards. Now keep the arms stretched. Don't let the arms bend. Be strong in the shoulder. Get that connection in the shoulder joint. So don't let the arms just be like this. Stretch up through the arms. Feel as if you're pressing your hands, but you're lifting away from that mat with the upper arms. Tuck your toes under. Walk your knees back if you need to. Tuck your toes under. And then we're going to come into that dog pose. Again, we're going to see how much we can rotate those inner upper arms. We're going to move that chest forward towards those legs. We're going to lift the buttocks. And don't worry too much about the heels moving down. I want you more just to think about you're lifting the backs of your legs and you're lifting the fronts of your legs. So again, there's the inner, from the inner legs, with the inner knee to the inner groin, I want you to lift. So lift up tall there, and then breathe. Try not to let the shoulders fall. Lift the shoulders off the floor. Lift the buttocks high, and move your chest towards your legs more. And then bend your knees. Big toes together, knees apart. Walk back with the hands till your buttocks move back towards your heels. Fold your arms and take your head down. Okay, so if this is a problem for anyone, you can just come onto your chair, sofa, whatever you've got there. Just be on the edge, take your legs wide and just roll yourself down. And just feel your shoulders are rolling down, your abdomen is soft, and let your head hang. So again, quite a nice restful pose to do. Okay. Right, from here we're going to just finish off with just two poses I'm going to hope you've got time for. We're going to sit down on the floor. You may need your belt and you may need something to sit on. So sit on a block if you need something. Have your block underneath you if you need support. So you can make some of you may need more. And just stretch your legs out in front of you. Just placing that belt around the legs and just take the feet apart. Okay, and I want you just to see if you can just, again, legs should feel quite a lot of awareness to the legs now because you've worked the legs in those previous poses on the floor. But now, so the legs should feel quite sharp. Press the legs, extend the legs, and can you lift the lower back? How much can you lift the lower back? Again, not having the shoulders around the ears. Drop the shoulders down, open your chest, and then briefly just relax a moment. So again, those 3 directions we spoke about earlier, we've got the length here now going on, so I want you to extend the back of the leg, so from the buttock bones to the heels you extend. You draw the inner thighs towards you, so from the inner knee to the inner groins, you draw those inner seams towards you. Then we've got the upward action of the spine as we lift up, but I want you to feel that width across that front body and back body. So these directions that we're making in the body, making space in the joints, just see how much can you be here without forcing, without holding that belt too tight, lifting up, rolling your shoulders back and down. And breathe, soften. Inhale, exhale. Soft face, soft throat. Open your front body, lift your front body. Lift your sides of your trunk. Good. And then release. And take your legs into cross-leg position. Buttock flesh out to the sides. And then we're going to inhale, exhale. Turn to the right, taking your right hand behind you, taking your left hand onto that leg, and try not to lean heavily into that back arm, just lift up and rotate. So again, no forcing. If it's too much, take the arm completely over, bring it to the same side, hold on to that left shin and turn. So either holding that left shin to turn, left ankle to turn, or taking your hand across and using that hand to gently pull as you rotate. So the twist, we need to inhale to lift, exhale, turn, and come back to center, adjust the buttocks, sit up tall. Again, remember that crown the head to the ceiling. Can you lift from your lower back? Can you lift from your lower abdomen? Lift up. And then turn to the left. Let's move this left shoulder bone back. Again, you can take hold of that right leg, right shin, and you use your hand to push and turn. See if you can breathe into the upper chest. Inhale, exhale. Soft abdomen. And come back to center. Just stretch your legs out in front of you before we change that cross leg. So changing the cross legs. Again, just sitting up nice and tall. So again, you want to be on the front of the buttock bones. You don't want to be dropping back. So see if you can lift up this whole front body, the side body. Feel that width. Feel the width across the knees. And facing forwards. This time we're going to raise that left arm. We're going to lift that left arm up. We're going to stretch it up. And we're going to feel the whole left side of the body stretching as we turn to the right. Take the right hand behind you. Use that arm to bring your trunk round, to bring this side trunk round, and take your hand down. Inhale, exhale. Try to move this right collarbone outwards to the right, away from that center left. Breathe, inhale, exhale. And come back to center. So again, see you're not leaning heavily on the back hand, it's there to help you to lift. It's not there for you to have a little rest and lean back onto. Inhale, exhale, raise that right arm up. Now lift up from that buttock, right buttock, lift up, lift the whole side up. Feel the rib cage lifting. Keep that lift as you take your left hand, start to bring yourself around, turn to the left, keep turning, and then take the hand down. Lift your chest, inhale, exhale, and turn. And come back to center, and then carefully uncross your legs. Lay yourself down. Just going to lay down just for a few seconds before we finish. So support the head if you need to. Come down into the center of your mat, buttocks lifting, extending and lengthening that lower back away again. Placing your head down, shoulders rolling back and down now. And then if your legs feel comfortable, you straighten your legs down and away from each other, and then just take the arms, so not too far away. You just want your arms away from the body, so the upper arms are not touching the insides of your trunk. And then you can cover the eyes if you've got a belt or a pad, flannel or something, anything. Just take across the eyes if you want to, and just close your eyes. Closing the eyes, allowing that body to release down towards the floor. So let your legs go, let your upper arms let loose, just let your body go now. So you've got the floor beneath you now as a guide to feel, are you releasing down part by part to the floor? Can you release those shoulders more? Let the fingers gently curl. Let the feet fall away from each other. So now we let the inner thighs just roll out. So no more extending, no more lengthening, just releasing now. Just seeing if you can become in that comfortable state where you can release and let go. Relax your face, relax your jaw, the tongue, the eyes, soft, releasing. Okay, so I'm going to come out of the pose now. You may wish to stay there, but I'm going to just bring my feet to bend, knees to bend, feet flat. Taking the palms onto my body wherever feels comfortable. And when you're ready, you roll onto your right side. Support your head with your right hand. And don't jump up too quickly when you're coming up. Just be here for a few breaths. And then press the left hand into the floor to come up into a seated position. Just keep that nice quietness, softness with you, shoulders relaxing down, palms together.